is those companies did not try to be all things to all people.
Mm-hmm.
They were not trying to, whatever this customer wants me to be, I'll do it. Wherever this customer wants me to go, no, they operated by an internal criteria.
Mm-hmm.
Where this is when we are operating within this criteria, this is when we have our highest performance, our greatest impact. But it's being true to ourselves first. What is our vision as an organization? What are our non-negotiable values? And what are our strategic goals? That if we are able to fulfill those goals, that is transformational for a company.
Right.
And so the greatest companies are true to themselves internally first.
Yeah, I think it's a different way of thinking about marketing, but it's because I haven't stayed in my lane necessarily. I've been curious about learning other areas of what we do. And yeah, I think in order to be an ROI marketer, you have to be someone who doesn't just get really good at marketing. You have to get really good at all areas of the business, like learn everything. You have to learn more than just the audience. You have to learn how that impacts every area. So
principles is as long as we stay within these boundaries, there's nothing we can't do. And it actually frees your people to think outside the box, to be who they are, and to take risks.
Mm-hmm.
Any great company, you cannot have innovation without risk.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot have risk unless your people feel the permission to think outside the box and swing for the fence.
To define your culture is not just to select a value principle and an aspirational statement. To define your culture is to clearly answer what you believe about the value principle, why you believe the value principle matters, and how you believe the value principle should and should not be practiced in the workplace. If you go through that process,
mm-hmm.
you'll end up with what becomes an onboarding and educational culture training manual that we call the Culture Creed. So now, 4 to 5 value principles that are on a website turn into a 15 to 20 page culture training manual that you can use in your hiring process, in your onboarding experience, and beyond, into business development, into sales, because it differentiates you. It productizes what your culture is.
That's why we talk about owners doing a triggering event, right? You go through a triggering event, you understand your business and personal readiness. And so from a business attractiveness and readiness perspective, not only, and this came out of the presentations we were given last year at the Drive Value Summits to owners, right? The call to action was to go get a triggering event, but not only just do that, but to share that with your key leadership team.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you can really get a sense of where you are as far as best in class, right? Like where on that 1 to 6 common sense scoring scale you fall and how that is impacting the multiple, because that's where you can really dive into the intangibles, right? And where most of the value is those roles that don't necessarily directly drive revenue. So if, as an owner, you do that on a regular basis, share the results with the key leaders of the team, and then they can disseminate that down to their teams, I think that's how you create a more of an owner mindset mentality, right? A long-term value creation.
So what this platform will be able to provide is a culture benchmark that is reflective of the core values of the company,
Mm-hmm.
and also based upon the belief and behavioral data of senior leaders. It will be able to create a benchmark for what the performance culture of a company is, right?
Yep.
And we talk about that in the book, the difference between aspiration and performance, right? There's a very big difference there. And so you want to be able to articulate both. Aspiration is, these are the values that represent the greatest part of our humanity. We believe in them, we're going to strive to them, but we're not always going to be able to reflect and accomplish them. Whereas performance beliefs and values, these are the behaviors that you'll experience the most.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so understanding the two of those, so that data allows us, when we're hiring people and they go through that belief and behavioral assessment, we can actually see a snapshot in time as to where their belief, value, and behavioral alignment is towards the core values of the company.
Yeah.
Right? Once we understand where they're at, we know where we can help on the development side.